Good morning. I'm Kalua Lauber. I'm up at the crack of dawn because I've been really thinking about this chat GPT. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quickly. All right. So I took a preemptive strike and I put the prompt there, just a quick explanation. One of the topics that my students struggle with because it's so comprehensive is in AP Lang and composition, they have to complete the synthesis question, which usually has about 8 artifacts. They get to choose three, but just the fact that they have so many choices can be overwhelming for them. So after we do a couple that are on AP Central, AP Classroom, then I actually usually give my students in groups a topic or have them choose a topic, and then they create a synthesis prompt using the prompt from AP Classroom. So in this case, I just went through the questions, release questions, and just looked at them to see what the format was. I mean, I know what the format is, but I'm showing it to you. Okay, so on ChatGPT, I put this question. Create a prompt for the AP Language and Composition question one that asks the writer to synthesize sources that include a political cartoon, a graph, a chart, an article, a poem, and a piece of research. Please use sources from current events in the United States of America. One of the things I want my students to do is to actually use ChatGPT to actually create their own prompts so they can write from something they may have more a greater depth of knowledge or interest in, so that they'll understand that to apply that ability to write on top of their heads based on something that they know when they actually get into a situation where they're just having to pull information. It'll be less overwhelming for them. The other thing I want to do is, let's see, from current events in the United States of America. That's good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit start. Let's see. Okay, mental health. In recent years, debates around youth mental health in the United States have intensified. Rising anxiety, depression, and social isolation among adolescents, especially in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, have prompted public officials, educators, artists, and health professionals to respond in various ways. Issues such as screen time, social media, school shootings, climate anxiety, and academic pressure all contribute to this ongoing national conversation. So it definitely pulls from something that the students could actually relate to very quickly, and then it gives the assignment, and then it comes up with the sources. Now, what is interesting to me is that it did not have to go to the free response questions. It already knows that this is how this question and these prompts would look. So they give you a political cartoon. They don't give the picture of the cartoon. They just tell you where it comes from, and then I would probably have to do a search. So that would cause one person in the group to have to do a search on political cartoons. The 2024 CDC graph showing the increase in emergency room visits for mental health related issues. A bar chart from Pew Research Center, excerpt from the New York Times article, and a poem entitled Anxious Generation, um, peer reviewed research summary. Let's see what it says. Reminders from the College Board. Then it tells you the reminders, your arguments should be central. The sources should support your reasoning and not replace it. So this will be a great study tool for my kids who want to go ahead and practice on their own instead of pulling old questions, just finding something new and then actually reviewing it and researching it. And then I would look at it. When we do activities like this, I basically have the students to write a defensible thesis statement and get two pieces of evidence. So it can be quick. My classes are usually about 45 minutes. It says, would you like me to write an example annotations or a sample student thesis for this prompt? Yes, please. Here are some example annotations. Okay. So this could give them some perspective. The danger of this part right here would be that they wouldn't be thinking outside of the box on their own. They would just be looking at these answers. And I think that would be difficult to internalize. So I like that. Another way I would use ChatGPT is how. would I write a strong, defensible thesis statement for this? What should I take into consideration? To write a strong defensible thesis statement for this AP Lang synthesis prompt, you need to, and then it gives you step by step, clearly states your position on the issue, which is what I teach every day, can be supported with evidence from provided sources, responds directly to the prompt's question, is specific, not vague or general, overly general, can be argued from multiple perspectives. Okay, so here are some things to consider, and then let's go up here. Although counterclaim or context the most effective way to address the issue is because, or and reason, the United States should address the youth mental health crisis. So it tells them the steps. And basically, I teach this as well. And I usually use the subordinating conjunction to have a strong argument because if they have a complex sentence at the beginning, that's very, very strong. A lot of students will have a finite defensible thesis. That's good. But if they want the sophistication point, they would actually go through that. Okay, so example, strong thesis statement. So they give all the examples. Okay, so this is a slippery slope for me because literally I want students to develop the skills on their own. I did try to ask a question in which they could work through it on their own, but then it gives them the answer or gives them a good defensible thesis statement, and the temptation would be too great for them to not use it. But for my weaker writers, I think this would be a boon if they were to pay attention to it, internalize it, and be able to use it on their own on the exam. If they're just copying and pasting it for the grade, which a lot of them will do, then it's not going to be beneficial to them when they take the AP exam. ChatGPT is a very great source, I think, for information. I was interested in some of the articles in which it said that a lot of the data was coming from the New York Times databases without paying attention to intellectual property. I'm sure that it's learning from people each and every day. So I think that just the lack of any kind of stops is going to be a problem in the future. My son tried to use Chat GPT to show him the steps how to work out a math problem, and he said it helped him a great deal. I think that it's a great resource. I don't know if I would use it before my students were strong on their own because then it would just be a crutch and they may carry that into the exam. My name is Kaloa Lauber and I enjoyed this. Thank you so much. And I really enjoyed this module because I did learn a lot. Last thing I want to say about this is that I think that we have been inundated with so much stuff about talk about AI that sometimes we feel like we're experts and then we get on there and we learn I'm not an expert. I thought that this is what it meant. I got AGI incorrect. And so I thought to myself, why did I think I knew that answer without going deeper into it and rereading the text? And so it's because I've been spoken to so much about it. Familiarity breeds contempt. But I do like the tool. I think I will use it for lesson planning, but if I introduce it to kids, it'll be further down the line. I'm sure they're already using it, but I would like them to actually do the footwork first and then go and check their footwork, maybe mid-semester. Thank you and have a good day.